Today, Panasonic have announced their brand new flagship stills camera, the G9, and the lens that I've got attached to it as well, a new 200mm f2.8 telephoto prime. Now, if the background behind me looks a little bit different to what you're used to in Wex's videos, it's because I'm not in London anymore. I've brought these items to New York to really put them through their paces. We're going to be recording a couple of videos for you. The first, this one, is going to briefly explain a bit about the specifications of each item, and then in the follow-up video, I'm going to give you my personal opinion on them both. Just like the GH5, the G9 is built around a 20.3 megapixel micro four thirds live MOS sensor with no low pass filter. However, Panasonic claim that this new device's files offer a 25% increase in dynamic range and improved detail reproduction at mid to high level ISOs. Now, this is hard to verify from our initial testing, as the camera's raw files are, as at the moment, yet to be supported by processing software, but if substantiated, will offer a convincing reason for Micro Four Thirds photographers to consider this model over the GH5. Certainly, image quality seems very impressive indeed based on our first impressions. Paired with a new Venus engine processor, the camera's native ISO range spans from 200 to 25,600, with an expanded low of 100 also available. In terms of burst shooting full resolution files with continuous auto exposure and focus, the G9 is up there as one of the world's fastest cameras. 20 frames per second shooting when using the electronic shutter is possible, and 9 frames per second is possible with the mechanical one. An even more outrageous figure of 60 frames per second is possible with autofocus locked on the first shot. The camera's buffer will handle at least 60 RAW files before slowing down, or over 600 JPEGs. Now, every new camera seems to claim that it's got the world's fastest autofocus system, but finding focus at an immeasurably quick 0.04 seconds, the G9 may well have just taken the title. In the short test that I've already given this camera, the 225 area contrast detect system with depth from defocus technology was blisteringly quick in a wide range of light conditions. One of the standout features found on the G9 is its highly effective 5-axis dual IS image stabilization system. This is able to compensate for up to 6 stops of camera shake. While the G9 doesn't provide the same level of video functionality as the GH5, it can still hold its own in this department against many similarly priced cameras. 4K and Full HD video recording are available at up to 60 frames per second, although it's 8-bit and not 10-bit like its sibling. The device has input for both headphones and an external microphone for improved audio monitoring and capture. With a highly respectable resolution of 3,680,000 dots, a 120 frames per second refresh rate and a 0.83 times magnification, the OLED electronic viewfinder fitted in the G9 is both bright and responsive. It's paired with a 3-inch 1,040,000 dot free-angle touchscreen, which makes composition at even the most testing angles a breeze. Touch focus, shutter, image playback and menu control are all possible with this display. Constructed predominantly from magnesium alloy, the G9's build quality feels notably higher level than some of Panasonic's more entry-level models. Very similar in form factor and size to the GH5, the camera has a DSLR style control layout with a large front grip that offers a firm purchase on the device. The main differences in handling on the G9 can be found on its top. Here, the on-off switch has been moved from the GH5's position to now sit around the shutter button, making room for a setting status LCD. At 658 grams with battery and memory card, and with the launch of Panasonic's new 400mm f2.8 equivalent prime, this camera would make a solid choice for those who want to start shooting sports and wildlife, but who don't want the combined bulk of a DSLR and similar lens. With Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, the G9 provides all of the connectivity expected from a modern camera. In the G9's Power Save Live View setting, battery life is 920 images, while 380 images can be captured from one full charge in the device's standard setting. The G9 is fitted with dual SD card slots, something that will be seen as essential to many enthusiast and pro-level shooters. Launching alongside this camera is the Panasonic Leica DJI Merit 200mm f2.8 Power OSI prime lens. This lens provides a full frame equivalent focal length of 400mm and is shipped with a 1.4 times teleconverter that extends its reach to an equivalent of 560mm with an aperture of f4. Focusing with this lens is extremely quiet, and in our brief test with it paired with the G9, it was both impressively quick and accurate. With a 15 element in 13 group construction, which includes 2 extra low dispersion elements, lens sharpness across the frame as well as control of distortion and chromatic aberration seemed really impressive. Optical image stabilisation is built into the lens to aid the reduction of camera shake while handheld shooting, a very welcome addition, and there's a focus limiter on the side of its barrel to help further increase focus speed. A focus button and selector switch are also found on the lens and can be used to quickly set the lens to a previously stored focus position or to activate a predetermined camera function. Built to a very high standard, this all-metal prime lens is splash, dust and freeze proof, meaning that you won't have to worry too much if you get caught outdoors in a shower. Weighing in at less than 1.24 kilograms and measuring under 18 centimeters in length, it's a highly compact offering when compared to DSLR primes with similar reach. So that's a really brief overview of this camera's main features. I've now got a day and a half in New York to see just how good this thing is. I'll soon have a more in-depth video to share with you where I can give you a bit more personal opinion on this thing.